I'm going to pretend like we're going on maybe a second date here. The first date, I might have came off a little bit strong. I'm hoping in this date, I show you a little bit more of my authentic self. I hope by the end of this video, you feel like you have a better idea about who I am, and I give you a few ideas to think about in the future. I want to foster a loving community and a community full of self-reflection and pride and confidence. So if that's something that you're also interested in, whether or not we agree 100%, we have the same mindset. So first thing, dedication to progress. I think that the gay community, and this goes wider in terms of the LGBT community and the queer community at large, is dedicated to progress. We didn't have it easy, even just 40, 50 years ago. If I were looking at the situation, I would be very skeptical that we would have nearly half the rights that we do today. Now, those rights are under attack, and we need to fight for those rights still. But overall, we are doing better than we were in the mid-century. For me, gay people represent a group of people who are usually looked down on, who are thought of as weird, who are thought of as freaks, abhorrent, or worse. And nevertheless, we keep fighting. And over time, we have won hearts and minds. What I think is that the queer community has leveraged the fact that we are everywhere in such a wonderful way. And I, as a gay person, am just so proud of how far we've come and so thankful for those who have fought before me. From advancing rights for non-discrimination to marriage equality to HIV activism, we've done a lot of great work, and we should feel incredibly proud. The idea of chosen family for queer people is really deep and is something that could get its entire own video, to be honest with you. But I wanted to just briefly talk about the concept of chosen family and what it means to me. You know, I'm lucky that for the most part, my immediate family has really supported me. But I know for a lot of us, we don't have that. And I know even for myself, I mean, yes, I'm supported, but I always feel a little bit like the other one. I think the idea of queer chosen family is so valuable. It's allowed me to feel love and connection in a way outside of romance that I never really thought was possible. A lot of mainstream queer culture sometimes, especially mainstream gay culture, keeps it on the surface, but I do know that that's definitely not the whole story. So mixing it up a little bit, another thing I just love is appreciation for gender nonconformity. For me, the drag community is a wonderful beacon of just confidence and vibrance and honestly just inspiration for me personally. I don't do drag. It's not something that I think I would be very good at, but I have so much respect for drag artists who are putting themselves out there, breaking the mold, and just showing us that no matter what society thinks you should be, you can totally be something completely different and honestly kill it for being that. Like, you stand out because you are different. And I love that aspects of the queer community and aspects of the gay community really embrace that idea. Another one is a sense of humor. I mean, drag queens definitely do have a great sense of humor for the most part. I also think that just gay men in general do have this very distinctive, witty sort of snark about them, but I don't say that in a mean way. There's something valuable about our ability to kind of look at things from a different perspective and be a bit biting at times. I think sometimes people need it. I mean, honestly, we're just really funny. Like, not all of us. I'm not the funniest person, if I'm being completely honest, but I do know a lot of people who are really funny, who are gay, and that's definitely like a positive thing. If anything, it shows that we're really resilient through all of our struggles and know how to find some of the humor and the good despite the bad. So this one might get me canceled if it was taken out of context, but I love the way that queer people and especially gay men are excellent in creative spaces. Now, I'm not saying that every gay man is great in creative spaces. The amount of creative gays that I know is just off the charts and completely disproportionate to the percentage of gay people in the general population. Obviously, there's a bit of a bias there because I myself am gay, so a lot of the people I surround myself are gay. But even I think taking that out of the equation, as much as I can do that, I do feel like gay men really do excel in creative spaces. Yes, it's a stereotype, but that's something to celebrate. As long as we don't feel like every gay man has to live up to that stereotype, it's not a bad thing. If anything, that's just one of the best things about our community. We are creative, insightful, and at our best, we make the world a more beautiful place. So, go us. That sounded a bit sarcastic, but honestly, yes, like I do love the fact that gay people do make things better and like prettier. I feel like that's a good thing. Okay, so this one, I'm going to try to be careful about how I speak about this. I love the way that gay men are completely, as a whole, are very confident about sex. And what I mean by that is that mainstream society really struggles with being comfortable with the fact that we have desires. Whilst sex addiction and misuse of sex for regulation is something that some gay men do struggle with, I think the way that gay men approach sex is generally healthier than the more repressed way that mainstream society approaches the same topic. You might be someone who thinks that we have way too much of it in our community. But for me, I feel like it's better that we aren't wrapped up in shame about the fact that we have desires. I think it's great that we embrace that. So this one's a bit related to the comedy and kind of the sense of humor, but I love the way that gay men have a camp sensibility. I think no one really appreciates camp quite as much as gay people. We love the over the top, the outrageous, at times the tacky, but with the knowing sense of humor and wildness that is just definitive of camp. I like that we have this sort of language that we're super fluent in that really is something that honestly straight people just don't quite get as much as we do. And I love that for us. So gay music. I mean, some gay men loathe the fact that they're assumed to like Madonna, Kylie Minogue, Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, the list. But I think it's great that we have a set of musical artists that I wouldn't say all like, but that we feel comfortable liking in front of each other. I'm always reminded by a kid who went to my school, and this kid would always listen to Britney Spears in recess. And I remember wanting to actually listen to Britney Spears more, but unfortunately this kid was actually bullied and teased for that. And I remember so badly wanting to listen to more girly music growing up, but not being able to for fear of being bullied. Deep down, I wanted to be the kid listening to Britney Spears, but I was afraid to do that. I love that as an adult, I'm able to listen to whatever the heck I want, whether that's something more traditionally masculine or something super girly and poppy. I feel like it's great that gay people are able to freely express themselves in music and aren't so wrapped up about ideas about gender and what they should or shouldn't like. I think that's us at our best. I think at our worst, we can kind of judge people who don't like what they're supposed to like. And I definitely did talk about that in my last video. But I do think for a lot of us, it's just nice to have a common interest. And hey, if we like Charlie XCX and we like Chaperone and we like, what are the kids listening to these days? If we like Madonna, that's fine. I think if you're a gay guy who likes something stereotypical, just embrace it. Like, forget about it. People are going to hate regardless. You don't really need to feel shame about being too much. Just own it. Okay, so this one's super touchy-feely, but I did write that I love the fact that at our best, we have a vision of love and acceptance. Now, not all of us live this value. Maybe I don't live this value all the time, but I think at our core, queer people and gay men want the world to be a more loving and inclusive place. I know that there's so much political controversy right now about the inclusion of certain people in certain groups, but I think if you take a step back and you really think about it, I would rather be with the people who want to expand love and expand kindness than the people who want to restrict who is worthy and who isn't. I would rather be with a team that believes at a fundamental level, whether or not we believe in the same details, but just at a fundamental level, we have the goal of expanding love and expanding acceptance and kindness. I think we are strong. That is really what I want to say is the last one. Gay people are strong. Gay men in particular are often bullied or teased for not being masculine enough or not being strong enough growing up. But I'm here to say gay people, queer people, whatever label you choose to use personally, you are strong if you have made it through the experience of growing up as a queer person. But regardless of who you are in the queer umbrella, I'm proud of you for making it through. And I think that's such a bold sign of our strength and resilience. And that's something that we really should be super proud of. So, what makes you proud to be gay? What makes you proud to be queer? Whatever label you identify as, I think there's something for us to be celebrating here. So if you have something to celebrate, drop a comment down below. I do my best to read as many of the comments as I can, and I really want to hear more voices beside just my own. That's one of the big reasons I started this channel, is I want to hear from queer people across the globe. So go ahead, reach out. I hope as I've let you into kind of my thoughts, you will let me into some of your thoughts. Thanks so much. Hope you have a lovely day. Peace, love, rainbows. Bye.